Hey everyone, this is Miss Time Bunny, and today I just wanted to do a video just sort of, I think just going down like a bit of like a memory lane thing for me, and talking about two WWE house shows that I attended. Well, I say I attended, it was a case of I attended them with my parents because at the time when I went to them I was like, well, 11/12. So yeah, it was back in 1993, and the two house shows in question were held in Bournemouth. So that's Bournemouth, UK. For anyone obviously outside of the UK who might be going, where's that? It's basically like a little town on the south coast of the UK. Well, kind of south, but you know where I mean. Probably more southwest of the UK. Yeah, it's called Bournemouth, and the place in question where it was held was the Bournemouth International Centre, Orbic. And yes, the first one I attended was, I want to say something like, I want to say something like April 10th, but I'm thinking that might have been the date for WrestleMania 9. Bear with, I'm going to quickly check the date for that one. When was WrestleMania 9? See, if I'd been sensible, I could have just checked this before I started talking, couldn't I? But no, me being a moron, I didn't think to check. Yeah. So, yeah, WrestleMania 9 took place on April 4th. And I do believe the house show I went to was either, as I said, I want to say April 10th. It was either the 9th or the 10th of April 1993 was the first one I went to. It was about, I know it was roughly, give or take, about a week after WrestleMania. Sort of like, ish. I mean, if anyone's in the comments remembers the exact date, please do say when it was, when the show took place at the Bournemouth International Centre. But I know it was roughly around the 9th or the 10th, because I think it was almost pretty much like a week exactly since WrestleMania 9. So that was the first one I went to, and I remember it being such a massive deal to me at the time, because it was like, wow, obviously my first WWE, I say WWE, WWF at the time. So it was my first ever house show. You know, I was like 11 at the time, because it was like but I didn't turn 12 until the following month, which was when my birthday was. And also it was really, really awesome because I actually got to see Crush, who was and still is like my most favourite wrestler in the entire world. Shush, he was just way underrated. He deserved better. I will not have anyone tell me otherwise. But yeah, so it was just like, I remember having such a great time. And I think we were only like a few rows from the front, like being almost like a couple of rows back from like ringside. So we were pretty close to the ring as well, which was really, really awesome. I'm sorry, I've got really mad itch beyond my ear. But yeah, it was just like completely crazy. I absolutely loved it. It was just like so awesome. So yeah, I saw Crush. Obviously, he was in a match with Doink the Clown, because there was the whole feud going on with him at the time. Who else did I see? Oh yeah, I think another match that stood out to me was the Head Shrinkers versus the Nasty Boys, because the Nasty Boys just spent the entire match just really winding the Head Shrinkers up and getting the crowd to chant nasty, to the point that I think one point in like kayfabe, the Head Shrinkers like threatened to walk out of the match, and the ref was basically like, if you walk out, I'm going to disqualify you, sort of thing, you know. So they were like, oh, okay, we'll come back and finish the match then. So, it was one of them silly highlights that made me giggle. It's just like, I love this. I was trying to think. It's like obviously trying to think back such a long way, trying to remember who I saw. But I remember there was, I think, Mr. Perfect versus The Undertaker, if I remember correctly. I know Kamala was wrestling that night, but I can't think for the life of me who it was he was against. But I do have like a vague memory of him being there, and also I think there was a match between Typhoon and Damien Demento as well. There was that match. So there may have been some more matches. I've got a funny feeling I think The Undertaker did wrestle that night as well, because I remember winding up a school friend of mine. I think it was like towards the end of the year that I'd seen The Undertaker twice live or something. So yeah, I think he may have been wrestling that night, but I don't distinctly remember it offhand. But I think he may have done, because as I said, I'm sure that it was like at the end of the year after the December house show I went to. I'm sure I just was winding up a friend of mine for like ages afterwards going, ha, I saw your favourite wrestler twice, sort of attitude, proper winding her up. So, yeah. And that leads on to my second point, is that the next house show I saw was, again, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it was December 1993. Pretty sure of that. Again, if anyone remembers, like, the dates of the house shows that happened in the UK in 93, do correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because as I've mentioned a couple of times, I am trying to remember something that happened in 1993, and it is now, at time of recording, October 2020, so it's like, I'm remembering something from quite a long time ago, so I admit I'm probably misremembering things. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the second one I went to was December 1993. I don't remember the exact date offhand now. But I know it was again in Bournemouth, at the Bournemouth International Centre. And who did I see the second time around? I remember seeing IRS, Adam Bomb, Tatanka, Yokozuna. No, The Undertaker was there. I can't remember. I think it's just, unfortunately, having not seen the photographs from the night in absolutely years, I can't remember, really who I saw and who against. It's just trying to remember the sort of names off the top of my head, but I know I remember those ones, off the top of my head. I'm trying to think if anyone else jumps into my head. But yeah, that's the sort of 5 of the wrestlers I do distinctly remember seeing. Because I think one of the matches was The Undertaker versus Yokozuna. Because I have this vague memory that I think The Undertaker won the match, but was about to basically steal the championship belt from Yokozuna and walk out with it. And again, I think the ref and the ring announcer were basically like, if you steal that belt, mate, and you walk off with it, we're going to reverse the decision and disqualify you. And The Undertaker was like, pretty much lobbed the belt back in the ring, just like, fuck it. It's like, fuck you and your belt, sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think who else I saw. I know Tatanka was there. I'm trying to remember, if IRS was against Adam Bomb or Tatanka. It's one of those ones where I can't quite remember who he was against now. It was one of them two. So, but yeah, unfortunately I can't remember as much about the second one, and it's bugging the hell out of me, but I do remember going to that one. It was just like, I think as an 11/12-year-old, it was just so awesome to go to a house show. I have thought about going back and watching house shows in recent years now that I'm older and I can pay for them myself. But I think it's as I've gotten older, I've realised what a kind of shitty company the WWE are, and it's like, I want to support the wrestlers, but I don't want to give WWE money because I know they're a shit company and they treat the wrestlers like shit, and it's like, you're making things difficult because I want to give them money because obviously then the wrestlers will get paid, But I don't want to give WWE money in the first place because they're scummy. And they're scummy. You know, it's just like one of those moments where you're like, nah, why you do this? You know, so it's like one of those annoying moments where it's just like, for fuck's sake, you know. So it's like, is it a case of like, I'm going to have to find other ways to make sure the wrestlers get paid and it not go through WWE, if that makes sense? Yeah. So it's like, if you know any ways I can do that, you know, just tell me, again, in description, because I know at time of recording, October 2020, I know Vince McMahon was trying to bring in this whole rule where the wrestlers under contract were not allowed to have outside money making schemes anymore, like doing things like Twitch and Cameo and all that kind of stuff, and being like, no, you ain't allowed to do that no more, and we're going to sort of basically take over your Twitch accounts and make them property of WWE and shit like that. So it's like, just stop, Vince, just stop. Why you do this? Just no. You know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little thing with you and just talk about, you know, some memories of going to house shows when I was like a wee young child, and just how awesome it was, because I'm just so pleased that I got to see my favourite wrestler on my first ever house show. I was like, yes! And I'm still salty to this day that Crush went and passed away in 2007 and I never got to meet him. It's going to be one of those things that's going to wind me up until I die, I think. I mean, I know it's a case of like he didn't actually like plan to die or anything. It's not his fault, but it's just one of them really stupid, petty things that pisses me off to this day. It's like, can you just why? I swear you did it on purpose to annoy me, you know. But it's just like, yeah, it's just, oh, it does. It's sort of, it's a stupid thing that bugs me, because it's just like, I really would have liked to have met him. Especially if I could have got him to sign the back of the photo from that house show. It's just like, yeah, can you just sign this for me? Because it's like, I've been a fangirl since I was 11, you know? So, like, please, just shut me up. Although, to be fair, I've often joked to my fiancé if he was still alive and had, like, attended as a wrestling guest at, say, LFCC, could I have been trusted? Probably not. I probably would have turned into like a crying fangirl or something and just made everyone laugh. Be like, shut up. just shut up. Stop taking the mickey out of me. You know? That's what it would have been like. But yeah, on that note, I'm going to end here. I am going to include the photos that I've got from the April house show at the end of this video, just so you can see them. I've tried to kind of like clean them up as best I could, but you've got to bear in mind how these photos were, and they were taken with like proper like film cameras, which back then weren't the best. So I hope you like them, and I will end here, and I will see you all in the next video.